Hello and welcome to another update video about AVAX. So AVAX has reached the next target, which was defined as $40, which we outlined on the roadmap initially as ideal targets for this A wave, between 29 and 40, or specifically these were the two levels to watch. However, so far AVAX hasn't reacted really to any of them. So while we've reached target, we are now in a situation where that target is taken out, and the price is even overshooting beyond it, above it. Raises the question, is this really just the A wave, okay? Or are we doing this wave 2 in one go, which is entirely possible as well. Basically, what I showed you in one of the previous videos was here, this A wave, which is also a corrective pattern, which consisted of an A wave itself, a B wave, small triangle or correction, and then a C wave. So a 3-wave move. Could be the case here as well. It could be the case here as well. By the way, the movement, the way this is unfolding right now, even though the previous micro count guided as well, it might make sense to revisit that. Given the extension of this move to the upside, it might make sense to see it at least as an ABC structure itself. So let me, so we can count this as wave 1 as well. It doesn't work that well, but it's acceptable. In this scenario, I would put the wave 5 here. It would have to work out as a different subwave structure, but then that's not so important right now. Basically, the 4 would sit here, acceptable as well. Okay, then we had within the wave 3 a small 1, 2 here only, 3, 4, 5 in 3, larger 4, 5. Doesn't change anything here now. And then we are basically, we could say that this might be all of wave 2 that it's doing, okay? But we'll see, the trend is still up anyway, so nothing has changed really. All the analysis can give you is really the levels to watch. And then what we also take a look at is when does the uptrend break? And I give you constantly the relevant support levels to watch. Now these support levels are going to move away, or the distance between the current price and the relevant support are increasing constantly in such an impulse. So I see the last move up here certainly as an impulse. So if that extends further, the distance to the relevant stop or the relevant pivot point to indicate when the trend is coming down or breaking the uptrend, that is increasing, and I'll explain to you why. So again, quick reminder for anybody who's new, we are currently tracking primarily this yellow wave count, which means we're currently in a corrective wave 2. The question is the wave 2 doing it in one go, or do we get a more extended ABC structure? At the moment, the AVAX train seems unstoppable, so it might do it actually in one go without any deeper retracements. Now, that's based on the assumption that this is only a corrective rally. As I said to you, for me, I don't mind if this is a corrective rally or if this is the C wave, which could be an impulse, but we won't know what it is until the price breaks above $86. If we get a sustained break above 86, it will get far less likely, not impossible, but far less likely that this is the yellow wave 2, indicating we are likely going to do this in one go, in the white wave structure. But we'll see. The subwave count is definitely a challenge, okay? So best I can tell you right now is that we are probably forming here within this current move to the upside. Instead of a 5-wave move, which I was looking for, we're probably dealing with an ABC structure. So, but that shouldn't be a surprise that we have to change something. First of all, it doesn't matter anyway, because the trend has been up. But I highlighted to you that the subwave structure is very unclear. Okay, so prepare yourselves for changes. But what does that change? That simply would give us now another way of projecting a potential target. And again, if this is now A wave or wave 2, impossible to say. It's starting to get a little bit too high for a reliable wave A. But it's also not clearly a typical 3-wave move that we would expect in a wave 2. So we'll see how that develops, but the trend is still up. Yesterday, I gave you a support area against which you could still focus on higher prices. it was between $27 and $29 basically. So we adjust that now. What I do, I take the length of the increase, yeah, since the last low, because this would be the beginning of the wave C, and it's the 50% retracement level that is really key. So as long as the $28.60 level is holding, we don't want a sustained break below that, right? So as long as we don't get a sustained break below that level, the trend is still up. So that now tells you a lot about the risk. There's literally no other level I could give you. Well, actually, okay, I could, if we count that as a small 1-2 down here, all I could do is lift it a little higher. That makes the level a little bit, brings the level a bit closer to where we are now, but not really significantly. So it's $29. So as long as we're holding $29, the focus can remain on higher prices. The trend is still up. But that's really everything we can do. Micro counting doesn't make sense. All we can do in these strong trends in crypto is to literally just roll up the support level. And it's now quite far away from the current price. That's where we say the risk has increased, okay? It's always about constantly assessing reward and risk. Now with the latest microstructure, if this is indeed a C wave, one more level that we could track as extension is the 100% extension of wave A. And that would take us next to round about $54. Now that's good because that is the next FIB retracement level as well, the 61.8. So let's see if the price reacts there. So that's the next level to watch. I mean, it can come down at any point now. Yeah, just be aware of that. But I'm not saying it will until we see more clear signals. There's absolutely literally no indication a top has formed. What you can do in addition to that, if you want an earlier signal, is you can just use a trend line. And if that trend line breaks, we have 3 touch points here, it might give you an indication that this C wave is over. Yeah, and that a stronger pullback has started. But it's not possible to give you a pullback target until we have even started that, because I have no measured top. Also, looking at the daily time frame, the market is now obviously overheated. Now that's not a problem. A lot of people say when we are overbought, it's coming down, down, down. That's the mistake that many on crypto Twitter have made over recent weeks. They're like, oh, we are, overheated. It has to come down. Well, look, if people use the overbought, look at this. This was down here as well, right? In January 21. It still doubled after that. So yeah, don't look at overbought. It's just not helpful. What can be helpful is to indicate or to identify resistance levels on the RSI. So we're obviously significantly overbought, yeah? And we're close to all-time high on the RSI. So that's at 97. So I would pay attention maybe to this sort of resistance range. Sometimes the RSI may react to these, yeah. So it still has a little bit of room to go, and that would align very well with that $55 target. That has to be the next target. Again, doesn't mean we need to get there or we have to get there. We've already reached our targets. Now it's literally a matter of maybe observing the trend line. Doesn't look finished yet, based on what the price is doing right now. That can change quickly in such an overheated environment. However, that's my update about AVAX. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, and please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.